The University of Stirling has announced that the Cottrell, R.G. Beaumont and Iris Murdoch buildings will now have limited access after 7 p.m, stunning the Students' Union and the dozens of societies that use these buildings every week. The announcement came out on Friday night to go into effect on Monday morning, leaving students unable to contact the university or union for elaboration. These new restrictions will have a massive impact on over 50 societies that meet in the Cottrell building every week. While students will still be able to enter these buildings, it will now only be through a specific entry and exit point, which has caused frustration amongst the student body. Students will now have to enter here at the Queen's Court entrance, which is considerably further from the bus stop compared to the main reception entrance. This means students have to travel further in potentially poor weather. An official reason has not been given, and when asked by Brig, the university stated that all campus facilities remain open. The university has temporarily changed evening access to a limited number of buildings. This is to ensure the safety of all building users at times where usage is reduced. Brig also reached out to the union for comment. They stated, "The Students' Union is happy to confirm that on-campus room bookings will continue to go ahead as planned and that there is no disruption to bookings. We understand that the university is attempting to restrict how the building can be accessed." Sabbatical officers Lean Ali and Justine Pajusel said, "The Students' Union was not advised ahead of the changes, and we are disappointed that the communication on this matter has not been clear from the university. While we are happy that there is no material restriction on our amazing student societies running social events, meetings and rehearsals, we believe that any change to how students access facilities at the university should include consultation with student representatives. Societies are the most affected by these changes, as the majority of them meet in the Cottrell building." One of these societies gave a statement to Brig. The president of the True Crime Society said about the situation, "The recent announcement from the university regarding building closure comes with an incredible oversight from the team who implemented this. The lack of consideration for the student union, societies and other external users who require these buildings after 7 p.m. to run events is astonishing." The University of Stirling advertises its amazingly diverse and wide range of societies as a draw for new students, however, fails to properly support or even respect and consider those who work so hard to make these societies run. I'm incredibly disappointed that the university would put this extra stress onto its students and completely blindside those it would affect the most. We spoke to students to gauge how they'd feel about the changes.
My name is I am studying history. I'm in my 4th year.
I'm Alex and I'm studying politics, philosophy and economics.
My name is Daniel Marshall. I study politics and journalism.
My name is Arman. I study master's degree in digital communications and digital media and communications.
I'm Millie. I'm a first year studying English and film and media.
No, I'm not in any societies.
A couple. I'm not the best for attending, but I'm more often in the AirTV and the Dungeons & Dragons one a lot.
I am in Brig and mountaineering.
I am actually part of many societies. Sometimes I drop in out of different societies. I go to certain meetings, but mainly I am in 4 societies. They are the AirTV, Dungeons & Dragons, history, and video games.
I am part of AirTV Radio.
I am aware, but I was only told by a friend. I didn't see anything from the uni.
I am.
Yes, I am. I think it was in a group chat I was in. We were having a meeting after, having a meeting at 6:30, so we were going to get affected, and then somebody put in a group chat saying that there was going to be problems because we couldn't leave the building after 7, but we got out of the security exit, so it's not a big deal.
Yes, I am. I am actually. It was a surprising thing to see since I also live in Beachport, and sometimes it's easier to access this bus stop for me to go from Cottrell and come all the way access through here. It's warmer, first of all, to go through there and get to my accommodation, so it was a little strange. In addition to that, it was also strange because all the society activities happen there, and there's a lot of classrooms, a lot of resources, and for instance, last year we used to do the D&D society events in the venue, which was loud, so doing it here during the classroom is way more preferable.
Someone sent it into a group chat that I'm in. I found out at work yesterday, and I wouldn't have seen it otherwise because it was on the portal. And the only time I checked my I should check my portal more, but the only time I properly check my portal is like if I'm in classes going through that way to sign in. Like, so I think at least that should have been a prior announcement that wasn't announced on the day of it going into action, and also that got emailed out.
Yes, very often as I work in the uni. So I use cultural to get to the bus and from the bus. I work down in the McRoberts Arts Centre.
I generally have to half the time.
I think it's a bit silly, to be honest, because obviously tons of people use the cultural building after 7, lots of societies, and I know you can still book a room and everything, but it just seems like a bit of an inconvenience. I also work just there, and I usually go through the cultural building to the buses. That's also like a slight inconvenience for me after I've been off shift. I mean, it's not a big deal, it's not like a massive deal or anything like that, but it's definitely a thing. I think, you know, it's a relatively small problem, even if there are kids coming up from town and being sort of rowdy. I think shutting the whole building after 7's a bit much, to be honest.
I'd say against.
Against, because I think it's stupid, personally. Like, 7 p.m. curfew, okay, but that's the main entranceway through the building to the bus stances. A lot of societies have all of their meetings after 7 o'clock or from 7 o'clock in Cottrell, and it is just like, there's so much confusion around it, I think.
A negative one, I mean, I know all the societies are stored in the cultural building, and I'm aware they need to buzz in and out now, which seems like quite informal, especially for societies that struggle to get people to join, kind of become a give it a go. It's probably going to be quite a negative effect, and for me personally, I'm going to have to walk around the cultural building when getting off the bus to come to work, or when going home, or I need to go down to Pathfit instead. It's just a general inconvenience at night.
A worrying one, that's for sure. Not even just for the societies, but also just getting around the uni to get buses later on, because let's face it, the buses aren't that reliable outside of behind Cottrell. Getting around there is just going to be much more annoying afterwards. Societies themselves, I think they're either going to have to move to maybe Pathfoot or somewhere, or just have to compete with class times, which could prove very troubling.
Well, obviously, people can still use the building after 7 if you pick a room, but you know, maybe for people that are maybe a little bit less organised, there'll be like, it'll be a bit difficult to sort of organise things, especially. I don't know. Also, yeah, I don't know. I think maybe people get caught as well sometimes. But it's more of an inconvenience than anything. I don't think it's going to have like a huge impact.
Definitely it will discourage, I think, some society activities. In fact, if we had more activities that were on campus, they might go outside of campus now, because they might find more better solutions to have places to gather around rather than within the university classroom. I think that will be an impact. Another one is, as I mentioned, I know right now it's getting warmer and warmer, but still relatively cold during the evening, and a lot of students, especially during the nighttime, they go out. There's a pop culture in Scotland, so when they come in, I think it's better, easier to access the building through Cottrell, because they come in and it's warmer, as I mentioned, rather than having to spin all that spin to get to their accommodations. That's another instance. I mean, it already has. For instance, yesterday, because of all this like commotion, because of all this confusion, one of the societies posted that, okay, they don't know what's happening, so they canceled it. And then turns out that, their room was already reserved, so it brought in a lot of commotion. I think there's also the fact that the university did not give a reason why this is being implemented, and the fact that each person who's going to get in there needs to get access through security, which in some cases can be a little unrealistic, depending on if I were with a big group of people and we're going to our D&D session, we're going to get all like escorted by security, and then let's say another group, same way. It's going to delay time too. So
it doesn't affect my ability, because at the moment I'm still on campus, but it affects my co-workers, definitely. And I think, personally, I'm not speaking on behalf of my work, but personally it raises questions of, as a student, if I was to come here to see a film as a customer, how would I get into my building to like see the film? Would I have to walk all the way around to the bridge and then in? Or I suppose there's the back entrance, but the majority, you wouldn't go in that way if you're coming from the bus stop. And it's also like on the portal they said that the bus to come from across the new boulevard pathway from the bus stop at the sports centre, but the buses don't stop at the bus stop at the sports centre. So what are we meant to do with that? And I think a lot of people, especially sometimes later at night, do come out of their accommodation into the buildings to find a quiet space when they can't sleep, when they have to do all-nighters, etc. So it may not affect like the main area, but like say if you're coming back from or going out at night and trying to get the main bus hub instead of going down there, you know, because you've missed your bus or whatever, it's like, how are we meant to get out of the building? Like, we can't exit up there. Do we have to exit here and walk around? Okay, we'll walk when it's winter and it's icy, because they don't grit that well.
I think that they should have told them in a more accessible way. I don't think hearing through like what my friend mentioned once, I don't even know where they heard it from. It doesn't feel very fair, especially when I will be leaving work past 7, getting up to Cottrell and not being let in. Just doesn't seem fair to...
Well, definitely emailed earlier. That's a good one. Could put some signage up. That would have helped. I know during summer when I was working here, I tried to use that door a couple of times to get out, and there was just like a thing on the door saying that you can't do it. But maybe you should have put some signage up in the atrium or something like that to make it a little bit more clear to people. I think email as well is probably the biggest one. Like, I don't think many people go into the portal that much, like every single day if they're searching things. Like, most of us have like Canvas on like shortcuts on our Google or whatever. We don't have to go to the portal to then go into Canvas or anything like that. So
I think so, yeah. First of all, I'm just curious, why is it a problem to begin with? Like, it's the classroom is there, it's a resource, it's for students. Not like you could just rent a room for your own purposes. It's always for society purposes, unless you want to study or something. So, and that being said, it's now sealed off either way. Even if you do rent a room for yourself, classroom, if you reserve it, you still have to access it through like other means. So it's just weird. Why are these like there? Is it because it's just like the university is concerned people from outside of the university can access these places?
Yes, maybe.
So wish we had more reasons to it, so we could understand why this decision was implemented. So therefore, we could be in support of it if we have like a good consensus why this decision was made.
I just think it's a silly thing to do. If it's because of issues with people from out with the university, then there should just be like a key card system or something to get in the doors rather than having a security escort you. I wasn't even sure where the doors that we got in, that we're allowed to go in through now are, until like someone pointed them out to me. So it was my friend and me in a cafe when we were talking about this, and she was like, I don't even know where that door is, and she's in 4th year. So it's like ridiculous.
As of now, an official reason for this change has not been given, and the restrictions are believed to be temporary. We will be keeping track of this situation as it develops, so keep an eye on Brig website and AirTV channels for more focus updates.